How UAB football used Kinexon sensor vests during 2021 season. You wouldn't have noticed, but the UAB football team wore a special piece of equipment beneath their uniform this season. No, not that one. Let's be civil here. Prudence. As the UAB program continues evolving, rising from the ashes of its own demise, it embraces cutting-edge scientific and technological advances in pursuit of developing a roster of high-level athletes. The latest development incorporated into the program is a sensor-equipped athletic vest, created by German sports technology leader Kinexon, that uses GPS and ultra-wideband technology to provide positional information to generate performance metrics on a session-by-session basis. The device can capture speeds, accelerations, and also has the ability to get heart rate information, Kinexon Executive Vice President Jim Garofalo said. These sensors connect right on the skin and are able to give real-time heart rate information. You can look at not only what's going on from an external loading perspective but also what they are doing physiologically internally. UAB Football Director of Athletic Performance Lyle Hanley, a connoisseur of innovative concepts, considered it a no-brainer when deciding to adapt the technology to the program this past season. More in UAB sports. Jordan Walker named CUSA Player of the Week. Alabama linebacker Jackson Bratton transfers to UAB. UAB analyst promoted to offensive line coach. From a training and practice standpoint, Hanley and his staff chart the volume of what players are enduring on a real-time basis. A flagging chart, produced every practice, is taken into account during staff meetings and can determine the physical load of any specific player, resulting in whether to pull or add representatives during practice. That was the thing with this technology, specifically Kinexon. Everything is in real time, Hanley said. We've always taken metrics and data, whether you take somebody's weight after practice or nutrition or maxes. It's being able to do more specific types of data in real time as they happen and being able to make an informed decision on top of that. Founded in 2012 in Munich, Germany, Kinexon split into two separate divisions, industrial and sports technology, and made its first foray into North America in 2016, setting up offices in Chicago and New York City. While the industry side focuses on smart technology facilities and machines, the sports division captured markets in Europe and the United States while cutting its teeth in basketball. Since its arrival, Kinexon has grown its client base to include 25 NBA franchises and 30 NCAA basketball programs. Additionally, Kinexon has added a handful of clients in the NFL and NHL and a few NCAA football programs, including UAB. We knew we needed something that was a little different than what was on the market, Garofalo said. We really controlled the basketball market from an NBA perspective and college basketball perspective, and wanted to make sure that if we were launching into a space that's relatively crowded in a GPS space, we wanted to make sure there was differentiation and what we brought to market. Not only did Kinexon become a front runner relative to the production of advanced metric technology, but it also provided a viable solution to COVID-19 contact tracing as sports leagues across the nation returned to competition amidst the pandemic, specifically the NBA bubble, NFL and MLB regular seasons and the NCAA basketball tournament. We made an adaptation to our product, Garofalo said. We had a product called SafeZone that was used, a device athletes wore and were able to put on each day. It would tell how long they were exposed to somebody at what distance. Instead of having to shut down an entire program, we can be more specific about a couple of people. UAB used the contact tracing adaptation for its Kinexon vests, along with its primary practices that the Blazers hope can lead to a competitive advantage. A variety of different metrics, such as acceleration, decelerations, and miles per hour, are measured and tracked during the off-season in order to match max velocities with data from GPS tracking. Applying the information gathered, the training and coaching staff can ensure specific players are permitted enough high-speed exposures. It changes the volume of which we do things, Hanley said. What's the most and best exposure we can give an athlete but with the least amount of wear and tear on top of them? It changes the old mentality and maybe there's a more efficient way. That's the whole thing of what you're trying to do, efficiency with safety to the athlete. One such player that benefited was tight end Garrett Prince. The departed senior put together a spectacular season on the South Side, appearing in every game while recording 36 receptions for 699 yards and 10 touchdowns, and led all tight ends nationally with an average of 19.4 yards per catch. As a guy that has always had some hamstring or groin stuff, Hanley said. Some guys average maybe 3,000 or 4,000 yards during practice, while Prince might have 8,000 to 10,000 yards because he's running non-stop. Has in this package, has a wide receiver in this package and a tight end on this package. Has getting more representatives, so next day when we go back, we cut back a little bit and still get high-speed exposure. It's safety this year. His production was much higher and was able to not miss any games or practice time. On the other side of the ball, the data collected is even more eye-opening and time-saving relative to the constant stop-go routine of a linebacker or defensive back. Hanley watches for the total load scores of defensive players, based on the number of acceleration decelerations and can scope exposures for them as well. On a single play, an offensive guy might have 1 acceleration deceleration and a defensive guy might have 3 or 4, he said. The load is going to be a little bit higher because it's a bit more demanding on the body. It's very specific, not only to the side of the ball but the position as well. Kinexon plans to evolve its GPS products, apply learnings from the inaugural year of practice and tailor its approach to be more efficient for the environment of football. Validating the data brought to teams is paramount, as well as the date received, and UAB is a major contributor of information for its partner. I would consider it a big success, especially from the way we were able to finish the year, Hanley said. The types of things we were able to do to have our guys be hitting on all cylinders at the end of the year, we usually do a good job of that, but now we saw it. Where it's an even bigger step is being able to move to year 2 and be able to use this data from year 1.